Good afternoon, early childhood folks, and welcome to the September provider call. We have quite a few things on the agenda, so we'll not delay. I know there'll be people joining us. I want to start with just a welcome. I know it's a new school year. Um, we have a couple of folks that are going to be presenting updates. I do want to let you guys know we did have some town halls scheduled, and those have been postponed momentarily, so just stand by. We will be working with local leads and get back with you guys on that. I'm going to toss it to my colleague Jennifer Douglas to talk about class updates.
Thanks, Tanya. Just really briefly, we wanted to remind you guys this is still a part of our class pilot transition year. And so we will continue to use class. And you can see on this slide, our goal this year is for every classroom that receives any type of public funding to have at least one class observation in that. And so you should be working with your local lead. Hopefully, you want to become a trained observer in class so that you'll have the opportunity to do some class observations in your own center as a director or potentially maybe even a lead teacher. But local leads across the state should be hosting or have been hosting class trainings. We encourage you to become a certified class observer so that you can have some ownership in that within your own center. But your local lead should be scheduling those class observations. If you participated in the pilot last year, you're good to go, but you may want to go ahead and have a second class observation. But we also, if you look at that second bullet point, just a reminder, if you participate in the class pilot through this year or last year, there is no negative impact at all on your Better Beginnings level. If you want to level up in Better Beginnings, we still have to go with ITERs or ECHRs with our current promulgated rules for ERS. But if you're participating with class and you want to stay at your current level, it's called what we call hold harmless, and you can stay at your current level and participate and learn more about class. So just wanted to share that. If you need to know more about class, please feel free to work out. Yes, all home day cares are encouraged. Everyone is encouraged to participate in class. And the way those observations go is the age of the majority of the children in the group is the tool that the certified observers are tasked to use. I'd be happy to chat with anybody, or your local lead also should know about it, and we can share more information about class and the transition year. B5, I'm sorry, Kristen, B5 just means birth through five. So any classrooms that fall within that pre-K setting for early childhood. So there's an infant toddler tool, and then there's also a pre-K tool. But if you guys, I'll drop the link to the OEC class website in the chat while I toss it to the next person. And then I'll try to answer any questions that pop up in the chat too. Thanks, Tanya.
Thanks, Jennifer. I think up next is Kelly Haley from our team. He's going to be talking about high quality instructional materials.
Hi, everyone. Um, I just want to give you a quick update on our HQIM process. It is still very much ongoing. We have that last bullet, that approved curriculum list will be released in spring of next year. One of the things we started with was in July, this past July, the review team got together and we met and learned how to practice scoring using the curriculum rubric. We've been working right now. We've been working from the interim list. When those teams all left the review process or that kickoff, they each took a curriculum with them back to their area and worked with it. They've been working with a team to process through that one. And once the interim list is completed, then we'll move to the reviews that were submitted. We had that open period in July where a curriculum could be submitted for review. And then we'll move, after we finish that interim list, we'll move we'll move to that list that was requested to be reviewed. One of the things we really tried to do is we really tried to make sure class was embedded into as much as possible so we could focus on those adult child interactions. And if you've been trained in class, you're very familiar with that. Our review team is made up of some local leads, some teachers, some directors and former directors, some OEC staff, and other early childhood experts from around the state. And as I said, that approved list is going to come out in the spring. We did actually have to make an update to the list just a couple of weeks ago. We're not going to be updating it every time a review is finished, but we did have to update it because when we did the meeting in July, we realized that two of them that were on the interim list needed to come off. One was content specific. It was not comprehensive, so it needed to be pulled off. And one is no longer available. So both of those needed to be pulled off. So we did update it at that point in time, but the rest of the updates will come in the spring. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to see the rubric, it is on the DESE website. You can go to the content and curriculum under early childhood, and there's a slideshow, and I believe underneath the slideshow, there's a link for you to look at the rubric if anyone is interested in looking at that. If you have any questions let's see, can we request the pending list of curriculum? The list is that interim list that is also where you're going to find that slideshow, and the rubric is at the bottom. That interim list is at the top of that slideshow. You can click on that link to see the list at that time. It only has, correct, that is the only ones that are on it right now. When we're done, that list could very well change. I see a question on here. Maybe Tanya, maybe you want to answer the anticipated funding.
Yeah, I will tell you that right now we're working through that process. There probably could be opportunities, but at this point, we're just working through the approval list. We're not going to ask anybody to change anything until we are prepared to help support programs with that curriculum. So just stand by on that. But it's a great question.
There is the QR code there for you in the corner. If you do not want to go go through the website, that will take you directly to all of that information I was just describing for you.
Thanks, Kelly. If you guys can just continue to drop your questions in for Kelly, she will try to answer those questions. I have just an update from our colleagues at the Department of Health. They sent over a number of resources regarding measles, as there's been quite an outbreak. So I know the team has dropped those in the chat box. If you have questions, or if you're in one of those areas where there's currently children diagnosed, these are great resources that the Department of Health here in the state has shared, and wanted to make sure we pass those on to our early childhood programs. And yes, Tisha, you can continue to use your current curriculum. You will continue to do that until a final list and until we give updates. So that's a great question. So nobody has to change anything at this point. Kelly just wanted to give an update, as this is something that we're working on, and make sure people knew it's not lost or forgotten. There's a whole team reviewing and going through the rubric to check those curriculums. And the rest of the team are here to help so much. Our next call is, I believe, October 7th at noon.